Welcome everybody. Hey, today we are going to talk about 10 ideas for the Minecraft 1.20 update. The 1.20 update doesn't necessarily have a name yet. They are waiting.
But the theme is self-expression and storytelling.
And storytelling. So with that in mind, Kay and I came up with 10 ideas that we think would be awesome for 1.20. Plus, if you stick with us till the end of the video, we have 3 what we think of as our own personal super ideas that we would love to see added to the game.
First, we have chiseled and cracked concrete as well as terracotta.
That would be amazing. If we got chiseled, cracked concrete and terracotta blocks, plus the stairs and slabs and the walls,
Yep.
that would be amazing. Fits right into the whole idea of self-expression, which is one of the things that the developers have spoke about. That would be cool. It's an idea that has been asked for a long time from the community. Its time has come, I think. Maybe 1.20 is going to be the time. Next on our list was...
Hanging flower pots and different variations of the flower pot.
That is another one that would be super cool as far as your ability to tell stories and be more creative with your builds and in your worlds. Having something with a little bit more variation to the flower pots, just a couple different sizes and designs, and with the ability of all of them to accept a plant would be awesome. Let's actually skip to the next one that ties right into this. This is one that isn't our idea, but we do believe that because of the ideas of storytelling, that archaeology is definitely going to be in 1.20. What better thing to put into the game that tells stories or gives the ability to tell stories and allows for self-expression with the already kind of things they hinted at with archaeology of making the terracotta pots with the designs on them, etc. So we think that will probably definitely be in the game. One of the next things that Kay and I talked about is the need for a wood that is between oak and spruce, and another that's between spruce and dark oak.
So you can use those types of wood to make it look waterlogged and just weathered in general.
Exactly. So again, fits right into the idea of being able to tell a story in your world and be more expressive with your builds. Far more creative ability if you have those options. Additional crops is something that we came up with, and that was just solely really based on the idea that the sniffer won the mob vote. The idea of new crops, they said decorative plants at first, but the addition of crops I think would fit a little bit more into the idea of self-expression and storytelling, although both have those kind of sides to them.
Having crops like tomatoes, corn, and berries, as well as grapes, would open up a whole lot of recipes for food and all of that.
And that totally fits into storytelling. So yeah, that's a great aspect to it. Okay. The next thing that I came up with, and this really doesn't relate. It does, so bear with me. We haven't had a redstone update really. Or any redstone blocks added recently to the game since probably the Observer. And I think it's about time that there's 2 in particular that I think would be possibly related to the ability to storytell or self-expression, at least with regards to building and taking up less footprint, being able to make better builds when you're using redstone. And those 2 blocks would be some sort of a sled or a pipe block that can move things horizontally easier, other than hopper chains or water streams, which are both cool, but the hopper chains obviously are a little bit laggy unless you can cover the hoppers. So some other horizontal method of moving things that isn't laggy would be awesome, along with, say, a vertical hopper or some other vertical block that could allow much easier and much more compact ability to move things up, whether that's items or players. One idea that I had was steam. Obviously, Minecraft is set somewhere in the sort of medieval-y times to maybe the, industrial revolution-y kind of times.
Yeah.
So somewhere in those times. But so Steam would be a natural kind of a fit.
Yeah.
And it would allow for making some builds a little bit more compact. Right now with water columns and dropper columns to move items up, you are forced into some design choices that limit your creativity. So, and then next
is additional lantern styles like paper lanterns, oil lamps, and for candles, candelabras.
Yeah. A candelabra block would be awesome for being able to attach torches to the sides of buildings. There is a mod out there actually that Kay and I have messed around with that has the ability similar to candles in the game now, where you can click and get 3 candles or 4 candles.
Mm-hmm.
It was a candelabra that you could place on a wall, and then however many times you clicked it, you would get like from 1 to 3 candles on the candle.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Oil lamps would be totally cool. Those design choices, paper lanterns.
Maybe the additional crops could make oil for the oil lamp.
That would be cool. That would be super cool, because that definitely then ties everything back to the ability to tell stories or to express yourself. After that, one of the next ones that we had, we're getting down to the end here, but if you hang out to the end of the video, we do have 3 kind of super ideas that we came up with. So stick around for those, because we are getting to the end of our regular ones. Number 9 there, Kay, on our list.
A choice of paintings that has several options available instead of the few that currently exist.
That would
or a way to paint your own painting.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. The next one up, again, this one goes more to self-expression and creativity with building. Go ahead on this one, Kay. What was this? Was
multiple shades of brick.
Yes. So multiple shades of brick. What we're talking about there is the brick block design itself. And brick itself is cool. But there's no blocks that have shades lighter or darker than that mesh well together that still have the brick pattern.
Yeah.
So, like, say something that would be between the mud brick and the regular brick is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Or the mud brick and
sandstone.
Sandstone, exactly. So now, if you guys have hung out this long, definitely leave some comments if you guys have ideas for what you think should be in 1.20. And at this point, we are going to get to our 3 bonus kind of ideas here. The first one being
the ancient city portal use added to the game, which you could either see into the past with or actually travel back to the past.
Yes, with archaeology being the study and digging up of historical items. I got to take just a quick aside here. For the win, guys, hanging signs
as fence
are the new fence. Period. End of sentence. This was us messing around in a preview world, and I don't know if you guys agree, but hanging signs, they are the ultimate fence in Minecraft as of this day. So anyway, back to the ancient city. And archaeology ties right into that, right? Because you're digging up ancient artifacts. That's storytelling. That's telling the history of the world that you're in or the players. If that's digging up ancient thing, well, then you have an ancient city. Those two, I think, have to be tied together. Kay and I, that's our thought, is those two have to be linked together to some element of the past of the player or of Minecraft as a whole. So some way of the portal coming to life and being linked to archaeology would be amazing for 1.20. Our next one, Kay had. Mm-hmm. This idea was just insane.
A mini game mode where you could actually mod in vanilla survival.
Talk about expression and storytelling. If you were able to, without ruining your world and ruining your achievements, have a minigame mode where you could use command blocks to build minigames and story games, puzzles, etc., that would be outstanding.
Yeah.
I think that would be one of the biggest add-ons. You know what? They could even incorporate replay mode into that. If you could incorporate replay mode into something like that, replay mode on its own would have some storytelling, obviously, advantages, and there's tons of self-expression involved with replay because you'd be able to share videos with friends of your achievements and accomplishments, and even your fails. You just sharing with your buddies and things like, and let alone what creators do with replay mod type things. That would be outstanding. And then adding that with a minigame option would just be stellar. The final idea that we had was this, and we saved this best one, at least we think the best one, for last. Fletcher and Fletching Table have the ability to make or allow you to purchase from them pre-made firework arrows. The GUI on the Fletching Table was promised to be active or a purpose for it probably 2 years ago. And it's never come about. So take one of the most complicated things in the game, which is firework creation, firework recipes for the different, like the creeper face and the star and all that. And if you build that into the GUI of the Fletcher and allow the Fletcher to sell those for emeralds, or if you have the items, you could use the Fletching Table to build those pre-made fireworks or firework arrows. That would be outstanding.
How the firework arrows would work is you would shoot the arrow at the mob, it would take the damage from the arrow, and then the firework would explode.
Based on how many elements are in the exploding, how much gunpowder, etc. I think that would be totally cool. And it would definitely give a lot more use for the Fletcher, let alone the Fletching Table. So that does it for our ideas. If you guys have ideas, hit us up in the comments with them. Find us on Twitter, submit your comments there, hit us up there. Definitely leave a comment. Share the video around so maybe some of these ideas catch some wings underneath them, and maybe someday someone from Mojang sees them. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say too. These are just some of the best ideas that we came up with along the lines of 1.20. And we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Take it easy, everybody.